a Bone Buster System 80B MPU that I had worked on, turns out 4 years ago, and those are the repairs that I made to the board at that time. So I think a new owner has the game now, and it came back to me. And putting my Quick Scan 80 on the board indicated that Z5 or U5 was malfunctioning. So I trust the Quick Scan 80 and I replaced U5. When I took it out, I tested it. It was fine. The issue turned out to be one of the chip select circuits was somehow not making and preventing U5 from being selected. So lesson learned, I'll have to check that before I go through the trouble of removing a 40-pin 6532 again. Well, at least the client has an easy way to get that one out and test it. So I've got it on my newly, I guess, completed, if you can ever say anything is completed here, System 80, 80A, and 80B bench, and the driver board, by the way, came along with it. So this is the overall view of the bench as it exists today. I've got to make a bracket to hold my Quick Scan 80, and I'll put that up here. But I have incorporated displays from the Lizzie project, except for one X-Pin 4-digit display. And I was testing an X-Pin 6-digit display also, so I have that in there. But these other three green ones are Lizzie displays that I ordered from JLC PCB and then assembled. The only thing you have to be careful about is make sure you get the right blocks. And then this is a 80B display panel, which a pinsider by the name of Cheddar had. You have to order these things with a minimum order quantity of 5, so he ordered at least 5 and was kind enough to send me one of these, which I completed the assembly for, and it now works 100%. So I've got the ability to test all the System 80 MPUs, and of course the driver board never changed. So let's power on, and we'll see a display come on down here. And that is entirely normal for boot. Bone Buster's ROMs in it. You can see we are in attract mode. This is probably a good way to see if all the lamps are working, at least once it gets to a mode where this mode here. I think definitely lamp 21 is locked on because it never blinks. But it looks like everything else is working properly. I'm going to see if I can get Q9 to fire. That's the, I guess, the difficulty or the complexity if you're testing with a regular game ROM, is you never know without consulting the manual which of the lamps and solenoid drives are used. So I'm going to use my very old now switch matrix tester that I made based on a design by our friend Jim Paulson ages ago, before Pennytech started making these. And if I had to go back, I'd have just waited for Pennytech to make them, because mine are slightly different, so I had to modify the cables. So let me get into test by pressing this lower left button, and then I'm going to skip to the lamp test. In here you can see lamp 21 is locked on, and I just saw Q9, the rightmost blue one, light up. So I think all those solenoid, or all the circuits on the driver board, are working, with the exception of lamp 21. Now some of these are repurposed lamp circuits that drive solenoids. So I'm going to start solenoid test. I'm going to pan back here. You can see those green ones are repurposed lamp drive circuits. But now it's doing the actual solenoids. Lamp 13 fires periodically. That must be a sort of like the equivalent of a Williams A-B select. Let me run that test one more time. Yeah, this looks good. Moving on to the switch matrix test and going across the diagonal of the switch matrix. And that shows that all the switch matrix switches are working. Sorry. Dip switch settings of 00FFCB. And those of you who have programmed in octal forever know that that is correct. Or hexadecimal. Display test looks good. I gotta say, this Lizzie 80B display panel, this is a home run. This thing is just spectacularly beautiful, and you can get these LED blocks in different colors, of course. Green for some games looks great. I chose blue, and it looks really good. Memory test, everything's okay. And there's your EEPROM checksum. Press the button again, we go back to lamp test. So I'm going to now take this driver board back to the bench, and let's see, lamp 21 is Q22, which I've already found. So it's a MPSU 45. Those are somewhat rare these days. If you need some, I can supply them. I have a lot of them in stock. So here we can see lamp 21 behaving, joining the party with the rest of the lamps on the driver board. And there's the transistor that I replaced with the more golden or mustard colored stripe on the top of it. These transistors came in a couple of different forms. The original ones were like the one I put in there, but I always cut that heat sink off there, because later on they made this in another package, and it has the heat sink cut off also. Central made one with a gigantic heat sink on there. All those heat sinks do, like a Bally lamp driver board, is catch on things and bend the part, and then the part eventually comes off. So this combination of driver board and MPU for Bone Busters is good to go.